James Abram Garfield was born in 1831 in a log cabin in Orange Township, Ohio. His father died when he was still a toddler, leaving his mother to raise 4 children alone. The family was very poor. Young James often worked on farms or helped on the Ohio and Erie Canal. At one point, he even dreamed of becoming a sailor or a canal driver, but fate had different plans. Garfield had a sharp mind and a deep love for reading. He read everything he could find, from Shakespeare to science books. He worked as a carpenter and janitor to pay for his education. At age 17, he entered the Western Reserve Eclectic Institute, which later became Hiram College. He impressed everyone with his energy and talent. Within a few years, he became a teacher, then a professor, and eventually the college's president. Still, he wasn't satisfied. He studied law and entered politics. In 1859, Garfield was elected to the Ohio State Senate. When the Civil War broke out, he joined the Union Army. Though he had no military training, he quickly rose through the ranks. He became a general after showing courage and leadership in several battles. Abraham Lincoln recognized Garfield's value and encouraged him to return to Congress, where he could help shape national policy. Garfield served in the House of Representatives for almost 2 decades. He spoke out against slavery, supported African American rights, and worked to rebuild the South after the war. He gained a reputation for honesty and intelligence. In 1880, he attended the Republican National Convention in Chicago, not as a candidate, but to support another politician. After days of argument, no candidate won enough votes. Delegates began shouting Garfield's name. Though shocked, he accepted the nomination. He won the presidency in a close election. At just 49 years old, Garfield became the 20th president of the United States. He was full of plans. He wanted to reform the way government jobs were given. At the time, many officials got their positions through personal connections, not merit. Garfield believed this system was corrupt and dangerous. He wanted qualified people in public service, not political supporters or donors. But that belief made enemies. One man, Charles Guiteau, had campaigned for Garfield, in his own mind at least. He believed the president owed him a government job. When Guiteau didn't get the appointment he expected, he grew angry. He began stalking Garfield through Washington. On the morning of July 2, 1881, Garfield entered a train station in Washington, D.C. He was on his way to give a speech at his college. Guiteau followed him inside. Suddenly, he pulled out a revolver and shot the president twice, once in the arm and once in the back. Garfield fell to the ground, but did not die immediately. He was carried to the White House, where doctors worked desperately to save him. But medical practices in 1881 were dangerous. The doctors probed his wound with unwashed fingers and instruments. They could not find the bullet and made the injury worse. For weeks, Garfield lay in bed, suffering from infection and fever. The whole country followed his condition. Newspapers printed daily updates. People sent letters, gifts, and prayers. Even Queen Victoria of England sent her sympathy. Alexander Graham Bell, the famous inventor, tried to help. He built a new device, an early metal detector, to find the bullet. The device worked in tests but failed on Garfield. The reason was simple. The president was lying on a bed with metal springs, which confused the machine. No one realized the mistake. As the summer wore on, Garfield became weaker. His weight dropped. Doctors moved him to the New Jersey seaside, hoping the ocean air might help. Crowds waited near the cottage for news. Children brought flowers. Soldiers stood guard. America held its breath. On September 19th, after 79 long days, James Garfield died from infection and internal damage. He had served only 4 months in office.